Hey family, how you doing today? My name is Terry Ann Bell and welcome back to Terry Ann Talks. So on today's Terry Ann Talks, Don't Talk About It, we are going to be discussing parents, okay? So the idea for this topic really came from when I was having a coaching call with a client. And for those of you that don't know, I do offer one-on-one coaching sessions where we can discuss and talk about anything that is on your mind, okay? And you can book one of those sessions on my website, www.terryannbell.com. Head on over to book online, and then that's where you can book a session with me. So let's go ahead and get straight into the topic for today. So I wanted to discuss parents. And for many of you that who watch my videos, you resonate with what I say here on my channel. You definitely can resonate with this, where you feel as if you are possibly, or not possibly, you feel like the black sheep of your family. You feel that your parents, they may have said that they did the best that they could, and you may even think that they may have done the best that they could. However, it does not negate the fact that you still were abused. You still were neglected and rejected and ignored and abandoned, because, you know, a lot of when we look back at our childhood and how our parents raised us, a lot of parents, they provided for us, but they didn't raise us. They provided clothing, shelter, a way for us to stay clean. You know, we had to go to school or else they would have got in trouble. They provided for us the basic necessities that we needed to survive. And for a lot of you, that's what you learn how to do. You just learn how to survive. But they never really taught you how to live. Because through your experience, you didn't know about living, because you weren't really living in your childhood. You were surviving. Another thing is that your parents, some of it is what they have done, but a lot of it is what they didn't do. When your parents did not emotionally support you, when you were going through difficulties, when they didn't console you, when they didn't comfort you, when they did not listen to you, when they didn't make time for you, things that they did not do have lasting effects, because they were so wrapped up in their own world, in their own lives, that they would mentally check out of being a parent and would just live and survive as making sure that they were straight and their priorities and responsibilities were taken care of. Like, my priority is to make sure that my offspring are provided for. But they looked at their children as more so a property, as a priority, than their child that they have to raise and love and take care of. And something that I had said to this client that I was speaking with, it came through intuitively, and I knew I had to make a whole word about it and share with you all what I had shared with this client. Is that there are adults out there that wanted children, but they did not want to be parents. They wanted children, but they didn't want to be a parent. And what does that mean? That they wanted children for the sake of their image, because society frowns upon people that do not have children. So if they see that a person has children, then they are praised and honored and respected in society's standards, in society's eyes. Their image looks a whole lot better because they have what society says that everyone should have. So they have the children to up their image. And they have the children because they think, wow, I have someone that I can control. I can see what it's like to be on this end, on this side of the coin, and control every aspect of my child's life, because when I was on the receiving end, I didn't like that. So now that I'm on the giving end, I want to give exactly what I received, because that's going to make me feel good. Selfish purposes. Wanting a child for all of the wrong reasons. But not wanting to be a parent, because a parent means you have to take care of your child. You have to raise your child. You have to teach your child. You have to create a foundation for your child. You have to create safety and security emotionally for your child. You have to be emotionally available for your child. That's what it means to be a parent. Parenthood is about raising an individual and setting them up for success in all areas of their life, and loving that child so that they know that they are here for a reason, that they are here and they are wanted to be here. But a lot of parents, a lot of abusive, toxic, narcissistic parents, they didn't really want their children. They look at their children as a nuisance. They look at their children as just an inconvenience. And they blow their children aside. They brush them aside. And the children feel that. The children feel dismissed. They feel neglected. They feel abandoned. And when they feel that way, they don't want to be around the person that's making them feel this way. That's why they distance themselves from their parent. That's why you have adults, or even sometimes as young as teenagers, they move out of the house, they run away from home. Teenagers, they run away from home. Young adults, they move out of their parents' house, and then they don't even speak to the parent anymore. They may block their number. They may just go no contact. They just may want nothing to do with their parent anymore. Because the child does not want to be around that energy of constantly feeling like they are not important. And these parents don't even realize that this is exactly how they're doing their children. Or even this would explain why, if you still have teenage children or young adults living in their parents' home, while you all may be physically together, but emotionally you all are distant. Emotionally, the child is distant from the parent. The child barely speaks to the parent. They barely talk. They barely have conversation. They're just there because that's where they live. And the child is doing their own thing. They leave when they need to leave. They come in and out of the house as they please. But when it comes for them to just exist and live in the house, they're staying themselves. They stay in their room. They don't come out of their room unless they absolutely have to. They just create that distance because they want to create their own private little bubble, their own sanctuary, their own safe space in this home, in this house with these people. It's because the parents did not create that safe environment for their child. And eventually what happens is that when a parent treats their child this way throughout their life, the child is going to eventually reflect back that same energy to the parent. And the parent is looking like, well, my child is so distant. My child doesn't speak to me. We live in the same home and I barely see my child. I barely hear from my child. My child just isolates themselves. What's going on? The child has gotten so used to being independent, to being on their own, to not feeling like wanted or welcomed in their own home. The child has been so used to being rejected and brushed aside and forgotten about, so used to being neglected, that they begin to do the same exact thing to other people around them, to the same people that have done it to them. And in some cases, they can begin to do that to themselves, where they are neglecting their own self, their own care, where they're neglecting their own mental health, where they're neglecting their own physical health, because when they've been conditioned to neglect, to experience neglect, they will start to do that internally until they snap out of it, or until someone like a therapist or a mentor or a doctor brings it to their attention and lets them know, like, hey, these are behaviors of you, and these are behaviors and symptoms of you neglecting yourself. And we can do that at times. because how our family treats us teaches us how we treat ourselves. And if the family is constantly ignoring us, we'll begin to ignore our own needs. If the family is constantly just brushing you off like you're not important, that's how we're going to start to treat ourselves. You know, they say you become like the people around you. And eventually you start to become it until you awaken and light bulb clicks on and you're like, whoa, no, I got to get out of this. And the problem is that sometimes people can get so comfortable in their chaos that it becomes normal. And they've survived for so long that they got comfortable surviving. They found a happy medium. They found peace in their survival. Even though they're still surviving, they found peace. And sometimes when they find that, they think that they know that there's something better out there for them, but sometimes it's hard for them to believe because they've never experienced it. And oftentimes they've been hurt so many times that they are afraid to put themselves out there because they're afraid of getting hurt. They're afraid of getting heartbroken again. They're afraid of being abused again. They're afraid of running into a person that they think is going to be a good friend of theirs. And then that person turns out to be another bad person. They're afraid of getting to know somebody on a romantic level, and that person just being a complete narcissist. You know, when you've gone through things for so many seasons of your life, and you know that you've been healing, you've been working on yourself, you've been getting better at your discernment, sometimes what you do is you're like, I just want to protect myself because I don't trust people right now. I'm not trusting them right now. And what it all boils down to is your foundation of trust is rocky, it's brittle, it's not strong, it's not sturdy, because the very people that you were supposed to trust and feel safe with did not make you feel that way. Your foundation is rocky. That's why you got trust issues with others, because the trust was not securely built in your home. Everything goes back to how you were treated in the home. As long as there was caregivers, providers, nurturers, and it was unconditional love and support and protection in that home, you had a loving home. But it's going to look different. There could be one parent. You could be adopted. There could be no parents, and they're just older siblings that took on the role of the parent, and those the children, the younger ones, grew up never feeling that they were unloved because they felt that they were loved. As long as children feel loved, that's what they need to survive. Let's look at Full House. They didn't have a mature, strong, feminine energy. A woman. They didn't have a woman energy in there until Uncle Jesse started dating our Becky. But for a while, for some few seasons, it was just 3 men raising 3 girls. But those girls always felt loved. When they finally had a woman energy come into that dynamic, it did help. Because the girls were able to be related more. You know, Becky, she was that bridge. But you saw before that even happened, 3 girls felt so loved. DJ, Stephanie, and Michelle, they felt so loved by their providers and their caregivers. Love has no gender. Love can be there as long as love is there. Because Jesse loved his nieces as if they were his own daughters. And he ended up having 2 sons, you know. Joey wasn't even in blood relation to them. But he was like a brother to Danny. So he was like an uncle to those girls. And he loved those girls like they were his blood nieces or like they were his daughters of his own. Because the love was there. The love was strong. And a lot of times when you have been in a lot of children that come from broken homes can fantasize about being in loving families. Whether they are fictional on TV, or whether they see a real family in real life and they see how loving it is and they just would love to be a part of that dynamic, or they just desire to have a dynamic like that. It's nothing wrong with feeling that way. You're not crazy for feeling that way because it's a trauma response. It's something that your soul craves. And in order for you to see what it's pretty much like a physical representation of what you desire. So it's like that. Something like that is what I want. You want that love. You want that support. You want that care. People that come from healthy, loving families, they're set up for success because they can go out into the world and build strong relationships. They will be able to build healthy relationships because they'll be able to recognize what is healthy and what is not healthy. My family dynamic is wonderful, says the person from a healthy, loving home. So these friendships, these relationships that I'm building, these feel a lot like home. These feel safe. Let me go with these. Okay, this relationship over here, there's too much drama. There's too much tension. There's too much animosity. You know what? I'm not going to deal with this. This doesn't feel safe. This doesn't feel like home. I'm going to walk away from that. They're dodging bullets. They're dodging bad people. But when you come from a broken home, when you come from a place of a lot of toxicity, a lot of trauma, a lot of drama, a lot of chaos, that chaos feels familiar and it feels safe, it feels comfortable, it feels like home. So you'll go right into the hands and arms of people that are not even good for you, but they carry the same exact spirit that your family carries because you got so used to that. So until you can completely separate yourself, until you are completely separated and distancing yourself from your family, you have to be able to retell your story, to change the narrative going forward. You are starting, it's like we are all telling our story. We are all writing a novel on life. And some people have multiple volumes in their novels. Think of, you going through so much and you going through your childhood and your spiritual awakening and becoming aware and healing yourself from all of this pain and getting to this version that you are right now. Think of it as that was the first volume to your novel series. That was that book. That book was full of all of the pain and the trauma that you went through. But now, it's time to start a new novel. It's time to start a new book. It's not just beginning a new chapter. It's beginning a whole new book. And this one, you remember everything that happened from the last book. You remember everything that happened. But you're taking that wisdom and you're beginning again. You're starting a new 111, new beginnings. You're starting anew. 222, you are aligning with the version that you are wanting to become. And you see, you can reference the past, but in this new novel, you're not living in that same environment. You're not living in that same experience. You're not living in that past anymore. You are living in your present. You are living in your future. You are living in your now. So yes, you can reference the past, but you're not residing there. In your first book, you were still residing in your past because you were fighting through it. You were fighting through everything. And once you fought through it enough and you came out on the other side, and it's like you passed the test, well done, my good and faithful servant, on to the next chapter. And this time you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. And now that you are in this new phase of your life, you are writing a whole new book. And this new book that you are writing is going to be everything that you want it to be. Because that first book of yours was the life that you were forced to live, the life that you were born into, the life that had more control over you. You didn't have as much control over your life. Everything was controlled for you. Everything was decided for you. And what happened was things began to take a turn when you took back control of your life. when you took the power over your life, when you started to make your own decisions that best suit you, not what best suits everybody else. That was your climax. Your climax was you taking your power back. And everyone was just so eager to see what's going to happen next now that you took your power back. And the thing is, it wasn't like you were going to just instantly just be a whole lot better. No, you took your power back. That was the climax, and then you went down. It's like going on a roller coaster. You hit that top peak, and then boom, it drops. That was what happened. Boom, you dropped. You hit rock bottom. Because, yeah, when you took control over everything, you had to go right back down to the bottom and crawl your way back out. And that was going to be you building up your strength, your soul becoming equipped for what it needs to be. So the strength and the power that you now carry was through that process of you getting yourself out of that rock bottom, you getting yourself out of that dark place. Because beforehand, it was more so forced upon you. You hit rock bottom at times, but it was often as if you had things that, it was almost as if when you were in this previous phase, you were hitting rock bottom, you were going through things because of the experiences that you were having, what you were controlled, what you were forced into. And sometimes you were forced into that rock bottom. Sometimes you were pushed into that rock bottom. And you still have to crawl your way out of there. But the only difference is that when you hit rock bottom, you still had all of those other people around you. And they watched you struggle, and they did not help you. And you were looking at these people like, are you going to help me? Where are you? Or are you going to... But they just looked at you and just ignored you, or they didn't even care to even look at you, knowing that they just put you into that position. But when you took your power back and you took back your control, you went and hit rock bottom, but nobody else was anywhere to be found. And you were all alone. You were all by yourself, and you had to crawl yourself out of it. And yes, it was more difficult, but you didn't have other people screaming in your ear. You didn't have other people, kicking you while you were trying to climb up, because that's exactly what happened when you had those people around you before. You're trying to get yourself out of rock bottom, and it's like crabs in a barrel mentality. They saw you climbing out, so they pulled you back down. Nope, you're going too far. Nope, come back down. Now, the next time you hit rock bottom, nobody was around to keep pulling you back down to the bottom. Nobody was around to discourage you. You didn't have those voices around. You may have still heard those voices, but those were the voices that were inside your own head. Those outer voices became your inner voice. And you had to fight through those inner voices, because you were thinking you were going crazy, but no, it was just your memory. It was just your subconscious was so programmed. So many adult children, so many adults right now are suffering because of what they experienced in their childhood. And their childhood years, they cannot get them back. They can't. But when they were supposed to be loved, they were hurt and abused and neglected. When they were supposed to experience joy and freedom and purity and innocence, they experienced turmoil and trauma and chaos and conflict and toxicity. There are some people right now where their childhood years were stolen because they had to do something for their parent, perform for their parent, be involved in certain things because their parents said so, not because they wanted to be there. You have parents that were living vicariously through their children, and then those children became an adult not having any idea of who they are and what they want to do in their life, because everything was decided for them. Everything was controlled for them. Their future was decided for them. And when they realized, I don't want to do that, then that's when it's like the parent wanted to shun them and disregard them and ignore them even more. How dare you not live the life that I want for you to live? How dare, like, this is what parents are pretty much saying. How dare you not allow me to control your life? How dare you have control over your own life? Because narcissistic parents, they feel entitled to everything. They feel like they get to live their life and live their best life, while they get to drag other people into their lives and make everybody and profit off of everybody else, use everybody else as stepping stones, as step stools to get to higher levels, while everyone else just suffers around them. That's a narcissist. A narcissist is a demon straight out of hell, where they want to sit on their fiery throne and dictate everything, snap their whip at everybody, scream and yell at everybody, and just watch everybody just be a fucking slave or servant, and just watch everybody around them just be miserable, because that is what gives them power. They want to have this evil laugh as they watch everyone suffer. These people are evil, dark, wicked, and demonic. Have nothing to do with these people, says the Lord. The spirit of Leviathan, the spirit of Jezebel, demonic entities, the fallen angels is what these people are. Some of you had demons as parents. Some of you were born into families that were full of demons, and you were the only angel there. So I'm telling you, my angels that's going through the toughest battles right now, because you had some angels that were born into loving families, because that love is what they needed to continue to keep going. Because they were meant to help people on a certain level. They needed to help so many people on a certain level. But to people that had to help people on a much higher level, they had to go through some intense stuff. They had to be born into a family full of demons, full of them, so that they can know and experience that demons can be anywhere. And that if the angel was to stay around that family, they would be consumed by that darkness. Because the angel has had even moments in their life that they can recall where they absorbed all of that demonic energy like a sponge, and they began to become one of them until they awakened and recognized, no, let me drop these patterns, let me leave these behaviors alone. I don't want to be toxic like that. This is not of me. And that angel had to break free, because they are not going to shine their light as brightly as they can when they are around these demons. Chosen one. Most of us had demons as parents, demons as fathers, demons as mothers, demons as older siblings, because you're trying to think, what in the world is wrong with these people that I am their family, their flesh and blood? I came out of this woman's womb. This man helped conceive me, but yet they treat me like I'm not in any relation to them at all. They treat me like I'm the adopted child. They treat me like I'm the orphan that was homeless, that they just took in just for nothing but a check. You wonder, how could these people that share blood with me, how could they treat me this way? Because they're not your family. They're not your family, because if they were, they wouldn't be treating you that way. The whole time we're sitting here thinking, why? And it's screaming at you, they are not your family. And we're sitting here looking at these people that are not our family, begging them to be our family, asking them, why are you not being my family? Because they aren't meant to. They are not meant to be your family. They are not meant to love you the way that you need to be loved. They are not meant to protect you. They are meant to betray you so that you have no other choice but to walk away. Because when you see how they handle situations in comparison to how loving families handled it, you're like, I look at my experience and thought, oh, that was whatever. But no, that was wrong. I deserve to have support in that moment. I deserve to have someone encourage me. I deserve to have someone nurture me. I didn't deserve to just be neglected. And the more that, when God really wants you to get away from those people, God's going to continue to show you why you need to walk away. God's going to allow you to do things in your own timing, of course, because God has a timing that oversees all, and we have to surrender. We have to go with the flow. We can't rush it. We can't try to move past it, but we have to just say, Lord, as long as I'm here, just help me get through it, Lord. Please give me the strength and the wisdom and guidance, or guide me on what you want me to do. Please give me the wisdom on how you want me to handle the situation. Please keep me safe and protected as I am around these people. And until God guides you out of that situation, you're learning lessons while you're with them. And the more lessons that you are learning is more about self-love. and how you got to love yourself more. It's helping you to increase your self-worth, because everything that you want from your immediate family, your narcissistic family, everything that you want from them that they cannot give to you, that they refuse to give to you, is everything that you are worthy of and everything that you can begin to give to yourself. And when you begin to give that to yourself, the universe is going to align you with people that are going to do the exact same. But you see, the enemy wants to keep your mind occupied to make you think that you are not worthy or deserving of it, so you don't even attempt to try to get yourself out of that energy. You got to fight through it. I know it's easier said than done. Sometimes you may not have the strength. I don't always have the strength. It's some days when I can have the energy to create and make videos and bring messages out there, but then it could be 3 or 4 days I have to go in the hermit mode because I got to go find the strength again. Walking this path is not an easy thing, but you have to go at your own pace and do not allow anybody to discredit you or discredit your journey and how far you have come. And do not allow anybody to rush you on your process, because they have no idea what it's like to walk your path and walk your shoes. Because you can look at other people and you can look at and it's like you can look at someone else's life and see what they have been through, and you can think, I can't even imagine what you've been through. And behind them, it's just like a huge backyard full of it's like, just imagine you're looking at somebody's life and you're like, wow, I can't imagine what you've been through. And it's like a backyard in a house full of destruction. And then you look at somebody else who's been through tougher battles, and they're at a whole football field full of trauma that they went through, and it's like, I can't even imagine what you've been through. And then those people that you see, that those those strongest soldiers that you run into, that you admire, that you love, because you see you have a lot of strength, you've been through a lot of stuff, and you came from a loving family. That's the kind of energy that you kind of sometimes wish you had. If I gotta go through some tough shit, that's fine, but what I really wanted at the end of the day, what I really wanted was a loving family. And sometimes you look at those strongest soldiers that came from loving families, those light workers, earth angels that had to be incarnated into loving families to fulfill their mission. You're looking at them and you see their journey. And it's like a football field full of destruction behind them. And you tell them, I can't even imagine what you've been through. But then those same strongest soldiers standing in front of a football field full of destruction behind them. Like it's just ash, it's just fire coming down, it's just... But they're looking at you, and they look at a huge battlefield, like just acres of land, and everything behind it is destruction. Fires over here, and stuff just all disintegrated, debris, everything. So it's like your battle is twice as big. It's like, imagine that football field, but times 5. Times 10 even. And other people are looking at you and what you overcame, and they're like, I can't even imagine. See, a lot of us, we've been through so much pain that sometimes we turn a blind eye to how much we have actually overcome, because we're continuing to look forward. We don't want to continue to look back. And sometimes we have to just take a glance back and see how much we have overcome, so we can see how strong we are. Because you may admire somebody else's strength, but somebody may really look up to yours, because it could be strong people around you that you really look up to and admire, but the whole time they will never admit to you that they really look up to you and admire your strength as well, because they see you as somebody stronger than them. They know they're a strong person, but they see you and they're like, nah, I'm strong, but that mofo is stronger. That dude over there, yeah, he much stronger than me. That woman, ooh, that's a strong woman. That is a strong, powerful woman. She don't even realize how strong she is, because she always had to be strong. But man, I don't even think I can handle the stuff that she done went through. I mean, I've been through some shit myself, but the amount of stuff that she done been through, I don't even think I could handle that. That's too much. I commend her. You never know who admires you. You never know what people truly admire, your strength and your resilience and your drive to come out of everything that you have been through. So to my chosen ones, to my warriors, yes. This year, we are no longer settling for less. This year, we are saying, fuck it, I'ma do me. Fuck it, I'ma take care of me. Fuck it, I'ma heal me. Fuck it, I'ma choose me first. That's your mentality this year, because beforehand, it was always fuck yourself and do what other people want you to do. Nah, fuck you. Do what they want you to do. Other people looked at you like, nah, fuck you, bro. You better do what I want you to do. Other people gave you that fuck you mentality. So now it's fuck everybody else. Not everybody else, you know what I'm saying? But now, to those people that always kind of gave you a fuck you, it's fuck them. To anybody that's trying to come around and trying to be all up in your energy vampires, fuck them. Narcissists, fuck them. Lustful people that just want to be around to, fuck them. You don't need that energy right now. Envious people that want to throw their trauma in your face, people that want to come around you and be jealous of you, want to come over here and try to clout off your neck. No, fuck them. We don't need that in our energy no more, because when we've had that in our energy, it has weighed us down, it has dragged us down, it has drained us, it has exhausted us. No. We got to be even more selfish this year. We got to be even more stronger and powerful this year. We can't let no motherfucker come around here and try to take our life from us again. How do we win? By staying in our light. How do we win? By living. How do we win? By living, by staying alive. How do we win? By staying alive. Because let me tell you something. Every single day that you are alive, every single breath that you take, there are people pissed at the fact that you are still here. There are people miserable because you are still here. And the more that you live, the more that you exist, the more pissed they are going to be, the more bitter they are going to become, the more brittle, and they will eventually disintegrate. That rotten fruit will eventually fall out of that tree. They will eventually crumble away into nothing, because that darkness can no longer exist on a planet this light. So continue to live. You don't have to do nothing more than exist. I take that back. All you have to do is exist. You definitely have to do more. I don't even want to say you have to do nothing more than exist, because you do. You have to continue to live your purpose. But on the bare minimum, baby, the bare minimum for you to defeat these people is to exist. It's to live. Every single day that you live makes them even more mad. And it's not even to make them mad. It's not even to seek revenge against them. It's to help you fight this war. It's to help you fight this spiritual war that we are in. Let me tell you, the bare minimum of what you got to do is just keep waking up every day. If God woke you up this morning, God has more work for you to do. Keep existing. Keep existing. Keep living. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. Because the more that you keep showing up, the more you keep shining your light, eventually your light is going to destroy them. Every single time they look on your page, every single time they want to see you, they think of you. Every single time they know that you are still alive and well, your light burns them. Your light destroys a part of them. That's why you have to continue to keep shining your light, and you merely existing is shining your light. So yes, at times it gets tough. Yes, sometimes you don't want to get up. Yes, sometimes you think of giving up, but fuck that shit. We're going to say fuck it to giving up this year too. This year forward, fuck it to giving up. If give up was a person and came and said, hey, come on, we finna go give up. Come on over with me. Fuck you. Fuck that shit. I ain't giving up. Give up, you can give up. But this one over here, I'm not giving up. Me and my crew, we not giving up. Me and my team, me and my tribe, we not giving up. So my tribe of people, we not giving up. Because I won't give up, and I'll be damned if I let anybody else give up either. Terry and Bell leading this tribe. The reason as to why all of my messages resonate with you is because I walk through the shit too, baby. I walk through that shit. I deal with that shit. I deal with everything. That pain, that anger, yes, I feel it because I have to go through it. Baby, I'll be going through it every fucking day, baby. And I still do what I can to show up, because I work for God, not for man. When I got messages to deliver, best believe I better deliver. When God says deliver, I deliver. I obey. I show up. But I'm going to be real with you. That's what I love about God. And God knows he gave me chose the right one, because I'll be as transparent with you as possible. I'll be as blunt with you as possible. There's a reason I am who I am. There's a reason I am autistic, because we are blunt. There is a reason I am a Gemini, because we look at the Gemini to say whatever everyone else is thinking but is afraid to say. Because I'll be transparent with you, because a lot of people don't want to talk about the struggles that they go through. A lot of people don't want to be real about how sometimes they're not okay. But I'll come up here and tell you, bro, I'll be going through it. Bro, I'll be struggling myself. I was struggling all day today. I was doing what I could. But I'm still fighting. Because I don't want to get out here in front of you and fake it and act like I have it all together when I really don't. Because me being transparent, me being real with you and showing you, like, listen, I'm your leader. And I even have moments when it's tough. It's going to be tough, but we still keep moving. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to pretend to be something that you're not. Show up as you are. Every single day I show up as I am. Every single day. And that's the same for you. Show up every day as you are. You don't always have to be, you won't have to show up as the happiest person if you're not 100% happy right now. You don't have to show up as the most confident person if you're not that much confident right now. Show up as you are. This is how we break this curse and stop trying to be something that we're not, and just being us, just being ourselves, just being the raw, true essence of ourselves. When you are yourself unapologetically, authentically, when you show up as the raw version of yourself, you're going to attract the realest people to you. You're going to attract the people that love you. You're going to attract your people. When you surface level, you don't attract your people. When you surface level, you don't attract them damn people, your real people. You attract other surface level people. But when you deep, you attract those people that are just as deep as you. So baby, I'm here to tell you, my brother, my sister, it's okay if you don't, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay if you have not fully healed from things. It's okay if you are not in the position that you want to be. That's okay, baby. Acknowledge it and accept it as it is and take action to change it. Acknowledge, accept, take action. Acknowledge, accept, action. That's how we heal. That's how we move forward. Because a lot of times we don't want to acknowledge what we're dealing with. We don't want to accept what we feel. We want to just gloss over and pretend like that shit ain't real. But no, if you want to continue to brush it under the rug, that pile under that rug is going to get too big, so you're going to start tripping over it. You're going to be able to try to walk around it to avoid it. You're going to have to start maneuvering around. Like, you shouldn't have to do that. Why are we avoiding things that need to be addressed? Why are we choosing to not acknowledge this elephant in the room? You got to start acknowledging the elephant in the room for your own internal world, because it's some stuff that you are feeling that you may even be afraid to admit to yourself, but you got to not do that. You have to instead be real about how you feel, real about how certain things made you feel, and don't be ashamed of it. Be real. If what you being real was saying is, man, you know what, this mentor that I have known since I was 10 years old, always nurturing, always so wonderful, I became an adult, I went to this person for comfort and they rejected me, and that pissed me off and that hurt me, that made me feel rejected. And I didn't expect it from that person. I felt so rejected by them. That's why I felt uncomfortable when I hugged them and they didn't hug me back. You have to, and that was just some real feelings that I just poured out. I'm not going to say who I'm talking about. But it took for me to be real with myself about something like that, so that that unsettling feeling that I felt in my spirit can finally calm down. All of your feelings just want to be acknowledged. All of your feelings just want to be seen. All of your feelings just want to be heard. You have to allow yourself to be heard and to be seen. That's why you have to have a better relationship with yourself. You have to start talking to yourself like, that's what I mean by you have to be everything for yourself. You have to be that parent that you didn't have. Your parents didn't inquire you about what's going on in your life. You ask yourself that stuff. You look in the mirror one day when you get home from work, baby, and be, baby, how was your work? How was your day at work today? Girl, let me tell you, because it was, and talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend. When you going through stuff, act like the same way that, be the mother that you never had. Be the father that you never had. Ask yourself, inquire about what you're feeling. Nurture yourself. Talk to yourself the way that you wanted them to do so. That's how you rechange things. That's how you spin things around in the direction of you healing and evolving, because you're no longer waiting on someone else to do it for you that can't do it for you. You're doing it for yourself. And when you do this, you're going to start to feel more empowered. You're going to start to feel stronger. You're going to start to feel more healed. And you're going to feel like you can handle anything you want in this world, anything you want in this life. You're no longer having imagine this, you going to yourself about how you feel, You're no longer going to have that experience of other people invalidating your experience or taking your trauma and throwing it back in your face, inviting you to be vulnerable just so they can invalidate you and make you feel insecure and make you feel disempowered. Fuck them. If anybody does that to you, fuck them. You don't need that energy in your life, baby. Because if you wouldn't do that to yourself, don't allow somebody else to do it to you. If you wouldn't do it to somebody else, don't allow it to happen to you as well. You got to remember, baby, you are a warrior. You have a sword and you have a shield. And your shield, you can bounce bitches out of your fucking face. Get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my face, devil. You ain't even got to stab them. You just got to dodge them. Nope, get away. No, you can't come around me. No, you can't call me. No, you can't come over to my house. No, I'm not going over yours. No, you can't see me. No is a complete sentence. We are saying no and we are meaning it. That's how you take your power back. That's how you continue to fight regardless of what you are going through. But you need to take moments to acknowledge and accept where you are and what you're feeling. When you acknowledge it, you're letting it be seen. When you are accepting it, that is the first major part. That's a major part of your healing, is acceptance. Accepting what you feel. Accepting it to be real. Accepting it as your truth. And yes, sometimes when you have to accept that truth, it's a tough pill to swallow. Truths are hard, okay? Truths hurt. The truth can hurt, but the truth can set you free. You want to be set free? You want to be set free from those emotions? You want to be set free from that pain and that energy? Then accept what you feel and do not feel any shame. Because the only reason as to why you feel shame is because that's how other people have made you feel when you've had experiences, when you've been through difficult situations. But do not allow their voice to become your inner voice. Do not start treating yourself the way that they treated you. Treat yourself better than how your family treated you. Treat yourself better than how that relationship treated you. Treat yourself better than how those bosses, those coworkers treated you. Treat yourself better than how those friends treated you. Treat yourself better than how those peers, those classmates treated you. Treat yourself better than how those sorority sisters, those fraternity brothers treated you. You deserve to be treated with respect and kindness and dignity and integrity and love and honor and appreciation. You deserve to be treated that way. You deserve to receive the same love that you give out. You deserve to have your love reciprocated. Cut out anybody that's not reciprocating your love and your energy. And a lot of times we struggle in our lives because we want people to show up for us and be who we want people to reciprocate what we are giving, instead of just being around people that will naturally reciprocate what we are giving. We want to be around people and we want them to show up for us the way we want them to, but if they choose not to, then we have to move around. We will be so much happier, so much more content with our lives when we stop trying to force people to be something that they are not. When we stop trying to force people to be who we want them to be for us when they will not, are not, and choose not to, and probably are meant to not to. Anybody that you are around that you're begging for them to love you does not love you. Walk away, move around. Because a person that loves you is going to love you regardless of what season you are in your life. A person that loves you unconditionally is going to love you when you are at your highest high and when you are at your lowest low. A person that truly loves you is going to love you and spread that love to you and give you love when you are at your most gorgeous looking face, or when your beauty has faded and you are not looking the hottest right now. Let's say you got into an accident and it altered your face. Let's say you went through something, got beat up or something, and your face is all messed up. Or let's say you done got to an allergic reaction to something and your whole face is swollen and red and you don't look as hot as you do. Pay attention to how people treat you in those moments. If people still love you in those moments, they love you, baby. And if people choose to take those moments to make you feel like shit, they did that on purpose. They found a perfect opportunity because the hatred that they have for you is a little too strong where it overpowers the love that they have for you. The people that hate you do love you at times, but their hatred is stronger. But when you have people where their love for you is stronger than any hatred that tries to creep in, those people love you. Because people that really love you are not going to fix themselves to go hurt you or fix themselves to intentionally do something that they know is going to cause you any type of harm. People that love you are going to show you through their actions that they love you. Whether that is support, whether that is grace, whether that is empathy, whether that is compassion, whether that is understanding. You got to have more people around you that love you. And what's going to happen throughout your journey, throughout my journey, God has sent people into my life that really love me unconditionally. And when I'm experiencing these people, and let me tell you, some of these people I've known my whole life. Some of these people, I have known them for a short amount of time. And for me, that is less than 5 years I have known these people. But I have had people come into my life where I've known them less than 5 years, and they've given me more love than people that I've known my whole entire life. Because what God was showing me is that it's not that I was the problem, the people surrounding me were the problem. It wasn't that I was asking for too much, I was asking the wrong people. I was asking people that were not emotionally available. Because people that are emotionally available can give me that love. I shouldn't have to fight for it. I shouldn't have to beg for it. I shouldn't have to negotiate for it. I shouldn't have to convince them for it. They would just naturally give it. God will send those people into your life to show you this is how you are supposed to be treated. This is how you are supposed to be loved. This is me showing you that you are worthy of that love. Because look, so now it's like, you like that? Okay, level up in your life. Continue to love on yourself the way these people are loving you, and love yourself even more than how these people are loving you. Distance yourself from people that you don't feel this love from. And be so selective with your energy that you only have people that feel like that around you. Because when God is ready to bring loving people into your life, God's going to bring it into your life. And it's going to be in moments when you never even expected it. Some of those loving people in my life that I know are from my soul tribe, they came into my life and I wasn't even looking for them. That's what happens, y'all. Stop looking for your tribe. Your tribe is going to find you. If anything, you find each other. That's the beauty part. That's the most beautiful part about finding your tribe, is that you find each other. You all are just walking into a path, walking your path, walking your purpose, and then boom, you run into each other. Because it's like as they're walking their path, you're walking your path, you cross paths, you run into each other. That's when you meet people from your soul tribe. And how many people that you have to go search for, and I think you're going to feel it instantly. And how do you know you met somebody from your soul tribe? You connect in the heart space. You connect at the heart. You feel a love for them, that same love that you feel for yourself, you feel that love within them. And you feel that love as you connect with them. You connect out of love. You also see that even if you've known them for only a short amount of time, you see so much of yourself in them. Even if you only have a few brief encounters, you connect on like a spiritual sense. You connect on a soul level. Like how you view things, they view things. If you connect, like you share morals, you share values of life. You just find so much in common with them on a soul level, on a spiritual level. And the thing is, when I say on a spiritual level, it doesn't have to be like some of these people, you could be spiritual, they could be religious, but the heart is the heart is the same. The similar way that you all connect with God similarly. And even if you may be spiritual, this person may be religious, but you still view God similar. You still have that same viewpoint, or same expansion, just same love for God. And when you meet people from your soul tribe, you're going to feel completely safe with them. Completely safe. You can, as an autistic person, the people that I completely drop my mask around, I know, because I know I can. I know I'm not going to be judged. You feel safe with them. You feel safe in their presence. And if you have ever embraced one of them, it's going to feel beautiful. It's going to feel warm. It's going to feel like the embrace of a lifetime. You're going to be surrounded by, because you have been embraced by someone that carries the same energy that you carry. And it's like the home that you have found within yourself, you've also found it in another person, because it's like your soul tribe. It's like we live in this big giant castle. And the energy that we have in that home, we share it amongst each other. And it's as if you're trying to come from people all over the world, come to this castle, and that's where you find your family. People from all colors, all origins, all religions, all backgrounds, all ages. You just come together, and that's your soul family. Your soul family, it's like when they hurt, you hurt. Your soul tribe, your soul family, you would do anything for them. Your soul tribe, your soul family, you couldn't even imagine doing something to hurt them. Because you're like, 1, I love you too much to hurt you. 2, I don't want to see you hurt because I love you so much. And 3, because I love you, if I hurt you, it's going to hurt me. I'm not going to do that. You think of so many reasons to talk yourself out of hurting this person, because the enemy is definitely going to get inside your ear and want to get you to try to fix yourself to hurt somebody that's a part of your soul tribe, to say something mean to them or do something. The enemy going to try to deceive you and get inside your head. Yeah, sin against your soul family. Go ahead and do it. But what's going to happen is that love that you feel for them is going to overpower everything. Love overpowers everything. Love overpowers everything. And the love is so strong for these people that you fight the enemy off. And that same love that whoever popped into your mind, when I was describing this, whoever popped into your mind, the love that you feel for them, continue to pour that love into yourself. And continue to pour that same love into your purpose. Continue to pour that same love. And just imagine that, like, that one person represents everybody in your soul tribe. And you stepping up and standing in your power and showing up and leading spiritually is going to help lead everybody else. You want to see things move and you want to see things change. Sometimes it's waiting on you, the most conscious one, the spiritual leader in the situation, to lead the way. Lead the way. A lot of my messages will digress and go totally different directions. But as we spin it back, you were born into that toxic family with your parents and your siblings treating you that way to teach you and show you that you are worth so much more. And that when you treat yourself the way that you always wanted to be treated, when you love yourself the way you always wanted to be loved, despite what your parents didn't do for you, that's how you get so much power, and that's how you step fully into your light body and you ascend. And you no longer have to come back here to earth and deal with this dense ass energy ever again. You want us to, if you want this to be your, who am I talking to? You want this to be your last lifetime coming here? Let them go. Ascend into your light body. Get into alignment. Continue to love on yourself. Continue to heal yourself. Walk away from the darkness and step into the light. Ashe.